you ever met someone who feels older than their age? Someone who was serious too early, responsible too young, and mature before they ever had the chance to be a child? They don't complain much. They don't ask for help easily, and they often feel disconnected from people their own age. Psychology says this kind of maturity doesn't come from intelligence alone. Most of the time, it's the result of growing up too fast. Let's break down the real psychology of a child who was forced to become mature early. 1. Emotional responsibility at a young age. Psychologists call this parentification. It happens when a child has to emotionally or practically support their family before they're ready. Maybe they had to stay strong for their parents. Maybe they had to take care of siblings. Or maybe they learned early that emotions were a burden. As a result, they grew up believing they must handle everything on their own. They became responsible, but at the cost of their childhood. 2. Difficulty expressing emotions. Children who grow up too fast often learn to suppress their feelings. They were praised for being strong, understanding, or mature. Over time, they stopped expressing sadness, fear, or confusion. Psychology shows that this emotional suppression can follow them into adulthood. They may struggle to open up, even with people they trust, not because they don't feel deeply, but because they never learned how to express it safely. 3. Hyper-independence. One of the most common traits of a too mature child is extreme independence. They don't like relying on anyone. Asking for help feels uncomfortable, even threatening. This comes from early experiences where support wasn't consistent or available. Their brain learned a simple rule: if I don't do it myself, no one will. While this makes them capable and reliable, it also makes rest and vulnerability feel unfamiliar. 4. Feeling emotionally older than peers. Many of these individuals feel out of place around people their age. They may find small talk exhausting or childish behavior frustrating. Psychology links this to accelerated emotional development. They skip certain stages of carefree growth, so they often crave deeper conversations and meaningful connections. This can lead to loneliness, even when surrounded by others. 5. Perfectionism and self-pressure. Growing up too fast often teaches a child that mistakes are dangerous. They learned early that failure had consequences. As adults, this turns into perfectionism. They push themselves harder than necessary and struggle to relax. Their self-worth becomes tied to responsibility and achievement. Psychologists say this constant pressure is a way of staying in control, something they learned early to survive. 6. Strong empathy, but weak boundaries. These individuals are usually very empathetic. They can sense emotions easily because they had to read the emotional environment growing up. But psychology also shows they often struggle with boundaries. They give too much, tolerate too much, and feel guilty for choosing themselves. Saying no feels selfish because they learned early that others' needs came first. 7. Grieving a childhood they never had. Deep down, many too mature children carry a quiet grief, not always conscious, but present. They may feel sadness without knowing why. Psychology explains this as delayed emotional processing. The mind protected them during childhood by staying strong. Later in life, those unexpressed emotions resurface. Healing begins when they allow themselves to feel what they once had to ignore. So if you were a child who grew up too fast, understand this. Your maturity was not a personality trait, it was a survival skill. You adapted to your environment the best way you could, and now you deserve rest, softness, and care too. Being strong kept you alive. Learning to be gentle will help you heal. If you like understanding the deeper psychology behind human behavior, subscribe now. Because on this channel, we don't just talk about maturity, we uncover where it comes from.